in this part, I think we can pretty much knock out 3 of the 4 functions that we have to fill in. We're going to knock out loading, unloading, and also loadable data location. So let's start out with loading. Basically, as we said, as soon as you click on to start the add-in, loading comes up. In general, you'll probably use this to set up any variables or defaults or anything like that. Now, one concept from an add-in, we can save values back to the sequence just as we did in the plugin. In the plugin, we use setup node. This is basically exactly the same. The only difference is it's called data node. So in general, you'll probably want to make a global variable of the type XML node. And I call it data node. So now when that is assigned, that's available to us in our entire add-in. And we're just going to set the data node that was sent to us from Vixen to our mdata node member. So this mdata node equals now we're not going to use this at all in this tutorial because all the information is exactly the same as we went through using for example XML select node or select single node, etc. You can save information if you need something, you can save it directly to that sequence file. Now the only difference here is in an add-in, you actually have a choice on how you want to save that data or where you want to save that data. Now, I've only played with saving everything to sequences. Everything I ever made strictly just works with sequences. Now, in order to tell it, hey, we're only playing with the sequence, all you have to do is in here, we're just going to return a loadable data location value, which you can just say loadable data location, period. And you have 2 choices. You have sequence and you have application. Now, if you select sequence, which we are going to do, if you do save values, they will show up just as before in our sequence file. In fact, I believe I have it saved down here. This is actually our example that we made before. Settings get saved there exactly as the plugin worked. Now, if you selected application, I haven't played with that, so I would imagine that is probably for if you are making an add-in that is going to need to be loaded, when Vixen or used more intensely by Vixen. All I do know about it, when you do save those values, they do get saved in the preferences file. But like I said, I haven't played with that, so I'm not going to try and give you any false information about that. Now we just knocked out. We're done with loadable location. We're done with void with the loading function. The easiest thing I think probably to cover in this whole tutorial is unloading. Because we're not going to be doing anything with it. So we can just clear that out. Now, in general, if you have any kind of cleanup that you need to be done, you'd probably want to do it in unloading, just to make sure all memory is released and whatnot when you're done using the plugin.